Right now, as you're listening to this, millions of the most driven, ambitious people are trapped. They're running on a treadmill of their own making, convinced that the next milestone, the next promotion, the next viral post will finally bring them peace. But it never does. Instead, they're left with burnout, broken relationships, and a hollow feeling that they've sacrificed everything for a ghost. Society paints a picture of success that's all about the hustle. The 80-hour weeks. The "I'll sleep when I'm dead" mentality. We're told to glorify busyness. But what if I told you that this isn't a path to success? It's a psychological trap. A system designed to keep you perpetually striving, consuming, and feeling inadequate so that you never feel you have permission to stop. Let me tell you about two people I've spoken with. First, there was a tech executive. On paper, he was a superstar. Stock options, a corner office, a resume that could open any door. But when we talked, his voice was flat. He hadn't taken a real vacation in 7 years. His family had learned to schedule appointments with him through his assistant. He was the richest, most successful slave I'd ever met. He was living a life everyone admired, except himself. Then there was a brilliant freelance designer. She was always on, chasing the next client, the next project, terrified that if she said no, the work would dry up forever. She was making great money, but she was also having panic attacks every Sunday night. Her creativity, the very thing that made her successful, was being suffocated by the constant pressure to perform. She was building her own prison, one invoice at a time. These aren't weak people. They're high achievers. And they've been systematically broken down by a culture that mistakes activity for achievement and exhaustion for effort. The real damage is done by a set of invisible weapons. Psychological tactics that keep you locked in the cycle. Once you learn to recognize them, your entire perspective will shift. Weapon number 1, manufactured guilt. This is the constant, nagging voice in your head that tells you you're never doing enough. You take a Saturday off, and instead of enjoying it, you're calculating the hours you've wasted. You go on a date and feel anxious that you should be answering emails. This guilt isn't an accident. It's cultivated by a culture that has turned time into a currency you're always in debt of. You end up apologizing for needing to rest, for having a life, for being human. Weapon number 2, strategic isolation. Hustle culture doesn't need to forbid you from seeing friends. It's much smarter than that. It simply takes all your time and energy. You start canceling dinners. You miss birthdays. You're too tired to call your parents. Slowly, your support network, the people who would tell you you're working too hard, fades away. You're left alone with your laptop and your anxiety, and the only voices you hear are the ones on LinkedIn or Twitter, all preaching the same gospel of relentless grind. You become isolated in an echo chamber of burnout. Weapon number 3, the moving goalpost. This is one of the most insidious tactics. You achieve a goal you set for yourself. You hit that revenue target, you land that big client, you get the promotion. But instead of celebration, there's just emptiness. And a new, more demanding goal immediately takes its place. The message is always the same: what have you done for me lately? This is a form of gaslighting that makes your past accomplishments feel meaningless. It destroys your ability to feel proud or satisfied, keeping you perpetually hungry and dissatisfied. The finish line doesn't just move, it disappears. Weapon number 4, the glorification of burnout. In this world, being tired is a status symbol. We wear our dark circles like badges of honor. We compete over who slept less, who worked later, who hasn't taken a vacation since the Obama administration. We've created a culture where saying "I'm so stressed" is a humble brag, a way of signaling our importance. This flips reality on its head. It makes a clear symptom of a broken system, chronic exhaustion, seem like a prerequisite for success. You're not encouraged to heal, you're encouraged to boast about your wounds. Weapon number 5, the illusion of scarcity. This is the engine of the entire machine. It's the constant, low-grade fear that this is your only chance. That if you slow down for even a second, someone hungrier, faster, and younger will take your place. That the market will crash, the trend will pass, the opportunity will vanish. This FOMO isn't just about social events, it's a deep-seated terror about your entire career and livelihood. It's a psychological lever that keeps you in a state of frantic action, preventing you from ever pausing to ask the most dangerous question: is this even what I want? Weapon number 6, the identity merger. This is the nuclear option. It's when your job stops being something you do and becomes who you are. Your title isn't just on your business card, it's your entire personality. When someone asks, "What do you do?" your answer is your company, your brand, your hustle. The problem is, when your work is your identity, any professional failure feels like a personal annihilation. A rejected proposal isn't just a business setback, it's proof that you are a failure. This makes it impossible to take healthy risks or to walk away from a toxic situation, because it would feel like destroying yourself. And the system around you is perfectly designed to keep you trapped. Try telling your boss you're at capacity and watch the subtle shift in their demeanor. Try taking a true, unplugged sabbatical and see how the industry looks at you when you return. The modern workplace, especially in high-achieving fields, is built on this exploitative model. To opt out feels like professional suicide. So, if you're hearing this and recognizing yourself, what can you do? This isn't about working less, it's about working with purpose. First, you must conduct a reality audit. For 1 week, track your time and your energy. Not just what you're doing, but how it makes you feel. How many hours were spent on truly impactful work? How many were spent on performative tasks, sending emails to show you're online, attending unnecessary meetings, creating reports no one reads? The data doesn't lie. It will show you the gap between your actual productivity and the story of business you've been telling yourself. Second, you need to reclaim your sovereignty. This means setting non-negotiable boundaries. Your sleep is not negotiable. Your health is not negotiable. Your time with loved ones is not negotiable. You must schedule your rest and your life with the same ruthlessness you schedule your work. You are the CEO of your own life, and that means protecting your most valuable asset, yourself. Third, you must diversify your identity. Who are you outside of your job? Are you a parent? A friend? A painter? A hiker? A reader? You need to actively build and nurture the parts of your life that have nothing to do with your output. This creates a psychological safety net. When a project fails or a client leaves, it's a setback, not an apocalypse, because you know you are still a good friend, a talented artist, a loving partner. Fourth, find your true north. Get brutally honest about what you actually want. Not what your parents wanted for you, not what LinkedIn influencers say you should want. What does a successful life look and feel like to you? Is it freedom? Is it creativity? Is it impact? Is it peace? Write it down. That statement becomes your compass. Any hustle that doesn't point toward that true north is just noise. It's a distraction. The hardest truth to accept is that the version of success you've been sold is a mirage. The hustle, the anxiety, the constant pressure, that is the reality of the trap. The curated stories of effortless billionaires and 4-hour work weeks. That's the bait. You have one life. You are spending your most precious, non-renewable resource, your time, as a cog in a machine that will replace you without a second thought. You deserve more than a gold-plated cage. You deserve achievement without self-destruction. You deserve ambition without anxiety. You deserve a life that feels good on the inside, not just one that looks good on the outside. The choice is yours. You can close this and go back to the familiar exhaustion, telling yourself, "It's not that bad," or "I'll change next month." Or, you can make a different choice. You can decide that you are more than your productivity. That your worth is not your output. That your life is meant to be lived, not optimized. It starts with a single step. Audit your time. Schedule your rest. Call a friend you've been neglecting. Prove to yourself that you are not just a resource to be exploited. You are a human being, and it's time you started living like one. If you're ready to take the first step out of the shadows and into your own light, your journey starts now. If this message hit home, share it with a brother who needs to hear it. Subscribe for more truth. Thanks for watching. Know your worth, protect your energy, and I'll see you in the next one.